Good morning, this is Amit Malhotra. Welcome to our show, Gyan Scholars. As you all know, on our show, we discuss the various aspects of the books that have been published by those scholars who are associated with us. Today, we have one such personality, that is Dr. Sayyid Zaheer Husain Jafri. He is an eminent writer. He is a senior faculty member with the History Department of Delhi University. He has written many books. Recently, he had written two books. These two books have been written on the history of Awadh. Today, we will discuss the historical facts of these books that had been written by Dr. Jafri. I have the copy of these books. One is Delhi and Awadh during 1857. The other one is Awadh from Mughal to colonial rule. Let's go straight to Dr. Jafri and ask about his experience of writing book. Sir, how was your school and college days? And as far as your PhD is concerned, you did your research under the guidance of noted historian Dr. Irfan Habib. Tell us more about this experience.
My MA in medieval Indian history in 1978 from the Center of Advanced Study, Department of History, Aligarh Muslim University. Thereafter, I took admission in the MPhil program and the research program of the Department of History, same. I was fortunate to have Professor Irfan Habib as my research guide. And it was under him that I wrote my MPhil dissertation way back in 1982. It was on the agrarian conditions in Awadh from 1801 to 1856. That is the Nawabi period during the 19th century. Thereafter, I was admitted to the PhD program of the department, where I wrote a thesis on the agrarian conditions in Awadh from 1595 to 1856.
I would like to know that what made you to start writing and how did the interest for writing develop?
The student of MPhil and PhD, we were encouraged by our teachers, especially Professor Irfan Habib, to write the papers, to present them in the session of the conference. The senior historians were there to guide us. They used to discuss our paper, they used to comment on our paper. So I had a great encouragement from my teachers, from the elders, from the other scholars who were from the other universities. By the time I wrote my thesis, my papers were published in the journals, and the senior historians, even from India and abroad, they took notice of those papers. They cited my work in their books and researches. So that gave a lot of encouragement to me.
Professor Jafri, you did lot of research work before writing this book. What were the challenges before you?
It is a very suggestive title. Studies in the anatomy of a transformation. How the region is transformed over the period of 300 years. So I am trying to understand the intricacies of the society in the last 300 years of the region. So that is how that gave further impetus to me, and I continued working on the theme even after the publication of book, and I was appointed as a senior position in the University Department of History, and when I was promoted as a professor in the Department of History, I continued my research for those themes, and the revised and enlarged version of this book was published, The Profile of a Saintly Rebel. That brought me to understand 1857.
As far as the medieval history is concerned, there has been number of research papers that have been published. There are number of books that have been written. How your book would make a difference?
See, I have made a use of the private family papers, and this is the novelty of my book, because the way I have used the documents of the Mughal times from the families, nobody else has used these documents in such a manner. So I have tried to understand these documents in a historical perspective. So this is the novelty of my book, that it is largely based on the unexplored, hitherto unknown documents from the 17th century, and also the colonial records from the 18th and 19th century. So I have tried to combine the data from the family papers with the colonial records.
Dr. Jafri, it is always said that the historical facts have been distorted. So, what were the basis of your research to authenticate your writing?
And in the National Archives of India, the mutiny papers are around 19,000 papers. Unfortunately, our historians have totally ignored that massive documentation available at the National Archives of India. Even the semi-official histories like S.N. Sen's 1857 have not used much material from the mutiny connection. It was only and only 2-3 persons like Agha Mehdi Husain, K. Mashraf, who have used Atiq Ahmad Siddiqui. They have used some of the material from the mutiny record, but largely it was ignored. See, my focus was to collect all the studies which are based on the indigenous records. What is the rebels' point of view? The vanquished who were destroyed by the British, what point of view they had? Whether they had any vision or not.
Before winding up the show, I would like to ask, what is your message for budding writers?
I will advise them to be careful in using the colonial records and also basing their studies on the indigenous literature. See, people go for the perceptions, people go for the memory, people go for the simply for the folk traditions. They are important correctives, but they are not the basic source for history.
So that's it for the day. This is Amit Malhotra signing off. Tomorrow we will meet you again.